welcome. So, I'm still on this masculine business, right? Um, on this shocking masculine business. Yesterday I did 3 readings on this, yeah, and a couple of them I haven't posted, and because the feminine energy in one of them, it was like the Queen of Hearts, and she was sorry, right? She she was sorry for like being an empress, and it was like, in a way, not sorry for herself that she's in this energy, but sorry for the masculine. And it made me, I felt an overwhelming grief of the feminine's heart. So I couldn't carry on with it. So I've slept on it, and so here we go. This is mine. This is my explanation, right? See this oyster, right? An oyster is considered an aphrodisiac, and this is where you probably started. Now, opening an oyster is called shucking, right? I didn't know that. I mean, have you ever tried to open an oyster? Right? They are clammed up hard. Shucking is hard. And this oyster, right? You fell in love with this oyster, right? You could see inside its shell. Do you see all the light coming? All the light, right? This is what this is what you glimpsed. And this is what you fell in love with. And you've probably been shucking them for years. Do you know what I mean? And what happens is they took your shucking gift for granted. And it all probably turned into a shucking hell when all that you wanted was to devour inside this shell. You wanted to devour this oyster. And so what happened instead was you shooked yourself, and you found all these secrets within you, right? And what you found is like an aphrodisiac to yourself, and down the hatch it goes. And then you stopped shucking them. No more shucks do you give. Shuck off, you say. And they try all the shucking tricks in the sea to get you shucking again. Which, here and there, you do give a shuck, right? And but eventually, you get drawn in, but eventually, you realise that this shucker's clammed up, right? What you saw through their shell, right, is there. You weren't mistaken of this light that you saw in them. You weren't mistaken. But they say, right, an oyster that is open slightly, only slightly, is dead inside. And what you have to do, you have to find, to open an oyster properly, right, you have to find the right tools, the shucking tool, right? Now then, you found yours, and they have to find theirs. And in all of this shucking going on, right, it can end up like they're thinking, right, they really think you don't give a shuck, and if you don't give a shuck, I won't give a shuck. Well, excuse me, all the shucking, the prying, the hammering, the whole shucking toolbox that you've used on this shucker, right? But what you found was they don't understand that, and you didn't, they didn't want to devour you in the same shucking way. And so when you get to I don't give a shuck, at this point, they really think, that you don't give a shuck, which is far from the truth. Otherwise, why all this Shucking. What was all this shucking about? All they know is that the shucking cycle is over. That they're shucked. I mean, you just surrender in the end. You just surrendered because it's impossible for you. You know, it's impossible for both of you. You can't go back in that shell. It's impossible. And this is like brings me back to why I was getting them feelings, why it was overwhelming me, why, it felt like grief, it was really deep. I couldn't carry on with one of the readings, and with that energy that I felt, and that's why it is a crying, shocking shame. It really is, but that's how you get, and everyone will have to shuck off, really, because it's exhausting shucking. Now then, unless, of course, someone needs to borrow your screwdriver. They're having a bit of problem, shucking. They want to borrow your screwdriver. Any tool in your toolbox, they're welcome to. That is a completely different story.